It's time to go. To explore.
We've been ready for a long time.
To get to the places COVID held many back from seeing last year.
I've seen things this year that I've never seen before and experienced things this year that I've never experienced.
The travel business is back in America and beyond.
It's in the air. People are gearing up, people are calling, people are excited.
But with it comes plenty of lines, traffic, and delays. This week we look at what's being done to handle the rush of an economic rebound and what you should expect before you take a trip. This is The Race. Welcome to The Race. I'm Chris Stewart. Traveling today is so much different compared to this time 1 year ago when pilots were facing furloughs and flights were empty. And now that passengers are filling planes again, airlines are looking to pilots to keep up with demand. On many trips, this is what makes the journey worthwhile.
I'm always amazed that when I'm just at the airports waiting to pick up someone that I know, just seeing so many different people being gathered in one single place for so many different reasons.
It is these moments that Paul Beliando cannot wait to make happen.
My passion has always been aviation. I knew from the age of 5 years old that I want to be a pilot.
He's a student at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. One of the top places to learn if your dream is to fly. A passion the pandemic grounded for many.
At the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit disheartening. It was like, wow, I worked really hard to get to this point and it's almost like kind of at a standstill.
Last summer, Bloomberg reported 400,000 jobs had been lost at airlines worldwide. But now it appears the industry is moving beyond those turbulent times.
Getting back to doing what they were born to do. It's an exciting time for them.
Embry-Riddle professor Kenneth Burns says they have programs that provide pilots to nearly every major airline.
Companies I'm talking to looking at 500 pilots between now and December.
Along with those in the cockpit, airlines are looking to fill positions to meet the demand of an industry seeing travelers again. Over the next decade, it's projected the amount of flight attendants will increase by more than 20,000. Jobs where the median pay is about $60,000 a year.
I know a lot of people were a bit pessimistic, but I always kept a positive attitude. I knew, like everything, that COVID was temporary.
Beyond coronavirus, a wave of retirements is expected to boost the demand.
Obviously, don't want people to retire out, but at the same time, it kind of brings like a new wave, new generation of pilots and everything too.
Travel has yet to fully get back to where it was before the pandemic, but you can see this industry gaining its power again, not just by the long lines, but the arrivals, now that life for many isn't at as much of a distance.
And I think it's kind of magical in some sense that aviation brings everyone together and allows everyone to kind of go do different things. In one single flight, there are so many people doing different things.
I'm Alexa Liaco. Summer travel season is in full swing and people are paying top dollar for those getaways this year. Travel prices are up across the board, but that's not stopping anyone. A new survey showed that half the country is planning a summer trip, but those trips are going to cost 50% more than they did in 2019. Now, airplane ticket prices are up 9% in just the last 2 months. That increase is led by a huge rise in demand. And don't look for relief from a rental car either. The Better Business Bureau is warning that some companies are inflating their prices hundreds of dollars per day, and gas prices are the highest they've been since 2014. Now, transportation may be one thing, but lodging is another. In many places, vacation rentals are more expensive than they were before the pandemic, but still, they are booked solid. Now, all of this is to make up for a lost year. Families are hoping to make up for those experiences they didn't have with their loved ones during the pandemic, and companies are hoping to make up for a summer of lost profits. For The Race, I'm Alexa Liaco.
From Washington State to Maine, businesses are losing billions of dollars each month while the U.S. border with Canada is closed. Vanessa Mishania is in Vermont's Northeast Kingdom, which relies heavily on its northern neighbors.
Tucked away in the upper corner of Vermont, a trio of counties creates a secluded outdoor utopia. What Essex, Caledonia, and Orleans counties may lack in human population, they make up for in beauty so remarkable. Together, they have garnered a royal name, the Northeast Kingdom.
And it's like living in a Norman Rockwell painting.
It's why Johnny Lottie came to the Northeast Kingdom town of East Burke with his wife and opened up Cafe Lottie 5 years ago. Not just because it had the visual appeal of a Rockwell, but the character too.
It's a community like I've never seen before. Literally a step back in time, and you know, just one guy helps another guy.
But as Vermont has now fully opened up, the Northeast Kingdom remains disconnected from one of its greatest financial feeders, Canada, specifically the country's French-speaking Quebec province.
Between 50 and 60% of your business is gone. That's a pretty big thing.
Canada is so close to the area that the borderline runs right through some residents' backyards. Not just a stone's throw, but a handshake away. For 16 months, Canadians, friends and tourists alike, have not been able to visit.
Hospitality-wise, we've taken hits.
Hits that have cost the area millions, says Darcy McCann, the director of the local Chamber of Commerce. According to U.S. Census data, the 3 counties that make up the kingdom round out the bottom of Vermont's per capita income. What keeps the area running financially is tourism and recreation, and a great portion of that comes from Canadians.
I would probably estimate it between $40 and $50 million. In the scope of 16 months and in the months that it's going to take to recover, I think it's pretty accurate.
It's a story that is not unique to this part of Vermont. Border communities from Maine to Michigan to Washington state are hurting right now by the billions. According to the U.S. Travel Association, every month the border with Canada is closed, the United States loses another $1.5 billion. Kingdom Trails is a network of 100 miles of trails primarily used for mountain biking, based in East Burke, and attracts nearly 150,000 people to the area every year. That translates into $10 million pumped into the local economy annually. It typically attracts so many Canadian tourists, it even has signs in French.
We specifically saw our visits decline around 40% specifically, and that is about the amount of the Canadian visits that we generally have.
While Canadians come for the biking, they stay and they eat in the handful of inns and restaurants in town.
You know, the businesses that are not doing as well, including us, know that when the border opens, that is going to make up for it.
Though the answer to the question of when the border will reopen is murky, there has been a bright spot. The Northeast Kingdom has seen a rise in folks from bigger cities after learning that they can work from home, moving to the area.
That's been one of the really positive aspects of this, is that we need people to move to the state, to add to the economy and be part of our community, and they're doing it.
That, plus the helping spirit of those already there, keeps business owners like Johnny optimistic.
You know, we just have to kind of band together, do what's best for the community, and roll that way.
Hoping the kingdom's incredible beauty will continue to be the resource that sustains it. For The Race, I'm Vanessa Mashanya.
If you could work remotely while traveling from place to place, would you? The idea has never been more popular than it has been over the last year. Meet the digital nomad who turned the pandemic into an opportunity of a lifetime when The Race continues.